told over the years, you've got to know where your club head is, you've got to know where your club face is. I've got a clue where the club head is.
No. It's alright. We only have to hit 20 balls and we see them go all over the place. So it's like, well, is this routine really doing what it's supposed to do? Because otherwise this won't happen. Okay, it doesn't matter. So you gave yourself more variability with your swing,
yeah.
And what it did was it tightened up the variability in your actual outcome.
Agreed.
Look at the space the club head's travelling in the room you're in. You're in a totally different place. We might not even afford ourselves the luxury of using all this space on a driving range bay. Awesome. What a golf shot.
That's as good a 7-iron as I've ever hit.
So now your golf swing's becoming more reactionary.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Yes. Just leave me
It's 150.
It is.
Leave me alone with the pint and the pen and the
And you came in at 100.
Just with a couple of bounces.
Yeah. It's a 50-yard increase on carry.
Your old G50.
The first thing is to just explore what you possess currently, but probably haven't already tapped into. So it's like, what's your physical capability?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly, because you've probably not explored it. You've been told to move or swing a certain way. So that's not really exploring your capability. That's just meeting someone else's ideas of what a golf swing is, and you may have the potential to far exceed what they were actually trying to get you to do. Then you might have your own style and your own way of doing it, which everyone's got their own way of doing it, which is far more efficient. Of course, we've all got limitations. We're not expected to go on that tee and just shoot 64 and play like Tiger Woods. It's like anything is possible, but it's kind of exploring your constraints, both physically and mentally. You only have to watch golf on TV, and they all do it different.
Sure. There's one more sub-item on that,
Yeah.
on my agenda.
Yeah.
So I'll become very cautious, and you'll see it swinging the golf club.
Okay.
Because when I swing it the way I've taught to be swinging, where it's evolved over the years, it hurts, especially if I hit the ground. And part of the reason I'm here today is because of your academic background. Because I actually believe in here, I've got a way of hitting the golf ball perfectly adequately as it doesn't hurt. And I'm a bit attuned into that.
We are, through self-preservation, set up to perceive potential threats, but we're developing a golf game on that if we're not careful, because we're looking at, I don't want to slice it, so it's like fix your slice, fix your hook, do this, do that. It's all based around negative outcomes, and the routine that we start to try and employ is something that is more damage limitation, or it's risk averse. But if I give you a ball to throw, or in everyday life, it doesn't even have to be sports related, you see where you want to go, you just go. There might be some roadworks, the pavement might be bumpy, or the terrain changes, but you don't stop and have to analyse what's taking place. You adapt in the moment. So you're in tune with your environment. You feel pretty self-assured that you can adapt and make the necessary change to whatever you're doing, whether it's walking, running, throwing, driving your car, it's whatever. What I find a lot is that people create these false attachments as a comfort blanket, and it's almost like, if I do this and this and this and this, I'm stacking the odds in my favour of this being a good golf shot. But really, like I say, it's a bit of kidology. We're trying to fool ourselves essentially, because we only have to hit 20 balls and we see them go all over the place. So it's like, well, is this routine really doing what it's supposed to do? Because otherwise this won't happen. The question I would ask is then, if a ball does that and a ball does that, why did that happen? It's not your grip, your stance, your aim, your posture, because this is happening all the time. So it's like, if these fundamentals were going to help you, that won't be happening as much as it is. Or if it does, you'd be able to self-correct, if you like, and get back on track within at least a ball or two. If you're practicing on a golf course, you've got one shot. So it's like, if you're slicing it, what are you going to do? Because the ball doesn't know where your right elbow is or where your right hip is. The ball's only reacting to how you hit it with the club head. So what feel have you got for that club head? Can you actually sense a club head that's pointing that way? And can you actually sense a club that's swinging right of the club head?
I've been told over the years, you've got to know where your club head is, you've got to know where your club face is. I've got no clue where the club head is.
No.
I've been that kind of range over too many years, 30, 40 years now. Trying to swing into out and rolling my wrist to get a draw.
Right.
And that's what I've spent buckets and buckets of balls trying to do. And I can't draw the ball.
So what's going to make the biggest difference to your game? What would you like to get from
What am I hoping from?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope for a different mentality of how what the game is, how it's played, and hopefully I can fit into that model better. Because I don't have to hit it 300 yards.
Hit a few shots and let's watch the ball fly. So, looking at that ball fly, what do you see there? What's?
Okay, well it starts with the club face, you said, so the club face was pretty square. So
And where did the ball curve?
It didn't a lot.
Yeah, it did.
Did it? I was just pleased to see it going in a similar direction. Well, that's a true.
So what we've got to do, we need to amplify our sensitivity to that. So that slight fade that you just hit, okay, you've seen it, you're aware of it, because that little fade you hit there isn't a little fade with a driver.
No, it's not.
Okay, but you could make the same swing, or virtually the same swing with that same ball fly, but with the driver it's going to be different. But you sense and in reality you are making pretty much the same swing. But you're going to get two different results. If we're hitting golf shots and not learning anything, or not even asking ourselves, what did that do? What did I see? What now can I do different? So that was a fade. How do I draw it? That's the next place I'd go. We've got to apply objectivity to this. So seeing that as straight and that was a fade, that's subjective. If we were to put a launch monitor on that, it would have faded. You would see the fade spin, the spin axis tilt. So like any ball sport, we've got to attune ourselves to the spin and the amount of spin we put on it.
That's genius, because my straight is within that.
So you're talking dispersion.
Yeah.
To measure dispersion, you need multiple samples.
Okay.
Right? But in golf you have one. Let's just take this to a much more basic level, right? I want you to hit a shot, not bothered about curvature, I just want you to hit a ball out there to the right edge of the range. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's great strike, now it went out to the left towards those trees. Those big trees, that's it. Lovely. Now back to the right again, over there. That big green tree out on the right hand side of the range. Well done. Notice what that ball fly did?
Oh, I think it drew it.
That was a draw. That's a strong draw.
But
That's quite a strong draw.
I can't draw it.
Yeah, well you can, but you just don't recognise what the swing that creates that draw. So, see that flag, how it's flapping? You've just drawn a ball into that wind.
In my head, I'm
So-
saying that was a bad swing.
Yeah. Now the difference being is, if I'd have said to you, David, I want you to hit a draw, would you have made that swing? No. That was a beautiful golf shot. That was a perfect draw. You were trying to hit that green tree, and you've hit a perfect draw down the middle of the fairway.
Agreed.
Okay. Now I want you to hit one straight. It's all right. And again. Another go. Awesome. Little bit of draw. Okay. So only like a couple of foot, but it's like not many balls fly straight. On a very basic level, you can hit out there, you can hit out there, and you can hit there.
Yeah.
So you've got influence over this already, just through intention. You don't need to know all the ins and outs of it. You can hit a ball right, you can hit a ball left, you can hit a ball pretty straight. You addressed all those balls very different.
I noticed that.
Okay.
But I didn't plan to do it.
So you aimed out there, you aimed there, and you aimed there.
I did.
So if you're hitting shots that go left on a course, it's like, well, straight away there's a level of control here where you could just move around and go further right if you want to.
I would never have tried to hit a draw with a 7-iron because I didn't think I could, and you got me hitting draws. And I thought, all right, I was hitting
that's
heavy,
better.
but
We're going to look at body
the ball's spinning that way, and I've never tried. I've never.
every time.
Yeah.
Everyone's drawn. So you gave yourself more variability with your swing,
Yeah.
and what it did was it tightened up the variability in your actual outcome.
Agreed.
We're actually playing with more variability to give ourselves less variability.
Absolutely. You've opened up the whole golf course to
Yeah. Now just make some swings for me. So just half swings, David. Just in the air. Just half swings. That's it. Cool. Back and forth in the air. And then out to the right. Now let's go out. Way out there. So you can move your body around as well. Move your feet. Just let the wrists just do the work. That's it. Let them just release. Look at the space the club head's travelling in the room you're in. You're in a totally different place. We might not even afford ourselves the luxury of using all this space on a driving range bay. If I can borrow the club, you've gone from here for the draw to over here for a fade. Totally different places for these golf shots. So different.
Never have.
Most of us are doing this
Yes. Yes.
and not exploring all this.
Yes.
and all this. And my body's got to move and orientate itself so differently to enter this space with the club to play these shots. And I might never ever do that on my own because I don't actually allow myself to go into that space because I'm so tightly constrained. It's like we're in a telephone box and we need to break free and actually explore what it's like to have the club in this space and what it's like to have the club in this space. Now swinging out there, but playing a big hook, so you're going to really let the wrist just, that's it. And then hold your finish. Hold it there. Take that one out. Put your right hand on. Okay. Without stopping, swing back and through to that same place. Off you go. Good. And again, it's faster. Throw it back. That's it. Fast. Throw it back from there now. Oh, that's it. Good. Different feel.
Never felt that before.
Now just play a couple of shots for me, exploring that. Setting up to the ball, moving round, just to use that space and let the club just freewheel. Well done. So you're going to get what you've just seen. The ball starts right and draws. There we go.
Wow.
So every shot is drawing.
This
So
was huge, Mark. A huge
yeah.
difference.
And you're just doing this with your arms at the minute, you're not even really using the body to its full potential. So this is not rolling the wrists and just manipulating it, this is allowing the golf club to swing in a way that represents the shot that you intend. So the first place we're going to go now is to the other end. So instead of spending time on the middle part of the body,
Yeah.
what the hips, the shoulders, the elbows and all that stuff we're doing, we go to the other end of the chain, we go to the feet. Just lock out the knees if you can, so we are just isolating your ankles. Now what I'd like you to do, David, is let your belt buckle twist with that walking action. That's it, let your hips go, let your body go with it and twist, that's it. So if you're not moving using the ground like this, then you're going to have to get that movement from somewhere else and it's through the spine basically and the hips. Throw the club head behind you on the way back. That's there. What's bringing that club back is not your arm, it's you using the legs. Feel a bit different there?
Yeah.
Just have a couple of shots for me and use your feet, that twisting action at the feet, that's going to create the momentum to throw it back, that's the rotation that throws it back. Well done.
That was a nice shot.
Yeah.
Slowly back. I've been told to
So
slower your back
That's
swing.
like taking the ball back slow to throw it. It's like you go back because then you're tapping into the elasticity. So it's like we need to be tapping into muscle function. So let's step it up a little bit, that's it. And then take your setup to the golf ball and use that intensity now to throw the club back. That's what swings it back, that high momentum. There we go. What shot? Awesome. So now your golf swing's becoming more reactionary. This is all just going to happen now as a result. It's a simulation in my mind and I'm just going to play it out.
Wow.
Well done. Different feel?
Oh, Christ. Different, completely different.
Every shot's drawing.
Different fly, different. I've never drawn as many balls. I mean, when I was warming up this morning, this was going to the 100 mark.
Right.
And all of a sudden there's another 20, 30 yards in.
Faster back now, but use that. You can start to use your body weight. Use that momentum from the body, from that weight shift. There we go. Look at that distance.
40.
Yeah. To actually swing this club, you'll stand up. So you bang and then you'll stand up, which will swing it. It reacts to you standing up. So you bang and then stand. That's it. Brilliant. There we go. Fantastic. You're going to throw it back as hard as you can using the body first. Really use your body weight to throw it. Yes. That's it. And let the club carry on the way back. Like a John Daly, let it go as far as you can on the way back. Throw it. So you can start to feel the weight of the golf club then. Even longer on the way back. Let your arms go floppy and soft. There we go. Throw it back. There we go. Throw it back and up as hard as you can. Look how you're using the ground. Can you feel how you're pushing off? That's it. The softer the arm, the faster it can go and the more it can react. So throw it to me and then off you go. Brilliant. That's it. This is what we're looking for. Now both hands. Swish it forward to throw it up with both hands. That's it. Now we're talking. Yeah. And now swish it back and then through. There we go, and there's a swish. Brilliant. And now you're finishing more extended because you're using flexion and extension. You've been missing out massively on the flexion and extension. That's a huge component of rotation.
Feels really wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's got to, because you've been swinging in a box.
Never done that.
So-
The back swing for me has always been sort of just placing it.
Yeah. We need them. We need to create that stretch potential through all the joints, ready to recoil. Awesome. Well played.
That was a good shot.
Yeah. You let yourself go more and more. Awesome. What a
Shot.
golf shot.
That's as good a 7-iron as I've ever hit.
It's 150.
It is.
And you came in at 100.
Just with a couple of bounces.
Yeah. It's a 50-yard increase on carry. But more importantly, the ball flight, little draw.
Yes.
Against a wind that's still into and off the left of it, so it's a bona fide draw. This is learning. Learning about the adaptation. And there you go. I mean, look at the distance. You're using, good, the body. Lower body, boom. To load into the floor. Using that momentum, and you're throwing it up really, back and up. There we go.
Shot.
And that's an easy, that's a comfortable 150. It's exciting to
It's the
see.
speed all the way back.
It's exciting to see the potential that, like you say, you've got, that you know's in there. Got another 50 yards on your 7-iron. It's like,
Yeah.
it's in the system.
Yeah.
This is only a scratch of the surface now. This is like the baseline for you to go and build on. Your fundamentals now that you can start to develop your game around. You start to find out what the fundamentals for you. It ain't grip. It ain't posture. It's none of that stuff. It's like much more meaningful biomechanical principles. It's momentum. How do you create that? How's your body reacting to the ground to create it? It's the timing of when you're using it. It's how it all sequences. It's about awareness of club face, awareness of ball flight. Look at that. That's awesome, mate. That. Feel good?
Great. Love it.
Different?
Oh. Yeah. Oh, shot.
That's awesome.
It's a great shot.
Even if I say so myself.
A much more relaxed posture. You're not braced at the end. Balance is good. You're moving more. You're moving faster. I guess it's okay on the back because you've not.
I haven't had a twinge.
Brilliant.
Shot.
Throw it back now with a bit more speed. It'll help you. Give you more time.
Yep. It did.
Yeah. So
That was
look how,
quite strong.
look how far it's got. The more momentum you use that way, the more time you've got to react.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Shot.
Oh, that's over 150.
I was
that.
going to say, let's look past.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. That's a different ball game hitting it that distance,
Yes.
because that's not just your 7. With practice, that's going to be transferable through the system, so that through the whole game.
I'm very happy doing what we've done.
Yeah, brilliant.
I've got to come north again now. We haven't talked about 50 yards in.
Nice.
That was better.
Yeah, we're going to finish on that one if that's all right. Brilliant. Enjoyed it.
No, fab. It was really good.
Brilliant. Thank you.
There's a huge amount of benefit in there.
Yeah, that was awesome. Well done.
Yeah. So I'll go away and work on all of that.
You've got your video.
Yeah.
That'll be private link.
I'm really pleased I came.
I'm pleased you did. Thank you.
Time for my nap.
If you love the coaching, but you're not able to get a lesson and want to experience the transformation for yourself, the closest thing you can do to get a lesson is buy a ZEN GRF Infinity training system and experience the same things that you're seeing my pupils go through in a lesson, and a 2-hour download all the exercises that enable my pupils to tap into those forces and find their most natural, efficient golf swing.